everyone, Soccer Bro is back with another video for you guys. I know that this is very different because we're in the basement again and I haven't recorded a YouTube video down here in a long time. Which through the winter you're probably going to see me record down here instead of being outside because it will be either too cold or it'd straight up be snowing, and I don't want to wreck the little stand here. Because it is electric because there is a light attached to it, so I still haven't figured out how to turn it on or off, really, because I don't think that there's batteries in it. I still have to figure that out. Anyways, so yeah, a lot has been going on. I do apologize, I've been in and out with posting. I just haven't felt like posting a lot recently. I've been going back and forth with feeling great and going back into depression again. But I'm trying to stay as positive as I can. And it's normal for people to have this type of cycle too, because it is a part of like healing and stuff like that. So if I haven't been talking much to people, just know it's not anything to do with you. I just need time to myself. And I do like talking to people because most of the time when I do talk to people who I actually like, or if anyone likes to talk to me, I like to talk to people. Technically, it's hard to explain, but like that's the gist of it. But a lot went around with what happened the day I recorded that cemetery vlog. So there's been a lot of mixed emotions since that day, which I will go in later in the video. And then there's also a lot of other stuff that has been going on, but I'm feeling better. And yeah, I forgot about Monday. That's why I'm recording this today. So this is Tuesday. I blame myself because we recently got more like streaming providers on the smart TVs. So I've been trying to catch up on more of my sleep because I have sleep problems. Like I have insomnia really bad sometimes. So I usually take a nap for like until like from 12 to 1 o'clock, and that's why I usually don't respond during that time area, but that's going to change once I start working anyways, which should be soon. I don't know when, but yeah. And then I also get like caught up in like just watching TV because it's just it's hard for me to like pay attention to certain things. I've also been doing more studying for Wicca and stuff like that, but it's mostly been like stuff mixed in with what happened the day of I made that vlog. And then I was happy to make that other video that I did, which I don't remember, which was the haunted history video. Yeah, that was fun to make. I do want to make more episodes like that because there is also another haunted car that is not about James Dean. There's actually multiple haunted cars that people really don't know about, and I love that because again, as I explained in that episode, I like cars, and then I also love paranormal so much, and when it's together, it's just like the best thing ever. But that goes for anything that's part of history as well. Haunted history, that's why I called it. And then also they have documentaries of haunted history on Hulu, and I didn't know that until yesterday, and I thought it was hilarious. I don't know if I did similar stuff to what they have on there. I think it's totally different, but check that out. No, that's not sponsored, but check it out. Anyways, now into the story time, which is gonna be hella fun. So literally the day after this, we went to go visit my sister, which helped me a lot. And my sister and Alex, we went to go visit them. It was nice. I also got to visit with my niece Nyla, which is her dog. I love Nyla so much. She's so cute. She's the sweetest dog ever. So yeah, that helped my mood so well. And we went out and we spent time with her and Alex and Nyla. And no, I didn't see any spirits that time around because that was during the day and I didn't see anything that was out of the ordinary. So what happened the day before was after I was done recording the vlog, I walked down from my grandfather's stone because I left my stuff there because I had to pick up my coffee, and then I had to pick up my bag. And no, it's not a tote bag, and I wouldn't call it a purse either. I just call it my bag, basically. The Tree of Life bag that you guys see me like hold or have in a lot of videos. I love that bag so much. I wear it all the time usually, mostly when I don't have pockets. And if you're wondering why I have a blanket on, it's just been really cold in my house. We need pellets in the pellet stove. It's usually colder in the mornings, so I'm like an ice cube for all the day. Anyways, so I walked back down to the headstone that we saw in that vlog, which was another bro family, but except instead it's mostly just all girls. They're all sisters. Two of them were twins, which I didn't realize until my mom pointed that out afterward. And then also one of the sisters who is still alive, who has the same birthday as me, but except she was born in 1948. That headstone, and they also have a heart on there, which is adorable. Oh, they're not like the only like bro family to have hearts on their stones. It's a weird thing. I'm saying it's a weird thing because it's a coincidence, so it's ironic. But it's cool. They gotta dust that because there's cobwebs in the middle of there, which I saw, and you'll see it in the photos later. If I ever post them, I don't know, we'll see. So I put my stuff down, getting ready to take photos and stuff like that. So I got my camera out through my phone, and because I record on my phone because I can't really use my camera. For those of you who know, I don't really have a laptop. I mean, I do. It's just too old to work, so I need a new one, and I'll be buying my own sooner or later, so I won't record on my phone. But recording on your phone isn't that bad because you actually get, if you have an iPhone, a newer iPhone, you can record and take photos in HD. So yeah, except for when you have to zoom in with your phone. That's why I prefer using a camera instead, because it just feels more professional and it's just easier, if that makes sense. And you don't have to worry about like storage on your phone much. Anyways, back to the story. So I was in the middle of doing that, and then this dude who was like around my siblings' ages, older than my older sister, because my older sister is like 23. This dude was like either mid-20s or early 30s. So he literally looked more around the age of my other siblings, my older siblings, because I'm actually the youngest of 6. Except my only blood sibling is Brianna, technically, but the rest of them are my half siblings. So he was like around the age of them, to be more specific, because me and Brianna are the younger ones. We're the 2 youngest ones. And he was also smoking a cigarette while also drinking a can of whatever the heck. I don't know what it was. It looked like a Monster, but it probably was more of a tea or coffee or whatever. Or it could have been beer, for all I know, because there are different types of beers like White Claw and stuff like that are in the cans, the long cans, and they look like energy drinks, if that makes sense. And I couldn't tell what it was. I can't really remember fully of everything, but for someone who did watch the vlog, they basically confirmed that they saw a dude walking around watching me while I was recording. Pay attention for that, because that's probably the dude. He had a Snuggie on, and if you don't know what a Snuggie is, it's a sweatshirt. French people call it a Snuggie instead, usually, like the zip-up sweatshirts. And then, so he came up to me, and then he was literally like, do you want to do cheers? I only did it, and yes, I know it's extremely stupid. I didn't realize until fully after, but I caught on later on that the situation was extremely sketchy. So I did that because I'm not going to be rude, because sometimes if you're rude, you don't know the mental state of somebody else, okay? So if you be rude straight off the bat, you could get a worse reaction than what you can. But there's many ways on how you can handle a situation like this. And usually I'm rude to people. I'm usually rude to people when I first meet people. Just because usually I'm just irritated most of the time. Just for no reason. And that's sad. I have to control that, which I know, but in this situation, it was weird because he scared me because I wasn't expecting for him to come up and talk to me. I wasn't expecting that because I was just doing my own thing, and I was keeping an eye out for everybody because there was 2 other people there. There are other people there, so I was lucky that I wasn't fully alone. Otherwise, the situation could have escalated a lot faster than it did. So, like, there was a jogger who was around my age, and then there was an older person who was working on a family grave, or he was one of the cemetery workers, which usually you don't see the cemetery workers that much unless you go to the little buildings, because they usually hide in there for like the whole day. I don't know, it depends, because it depends on like the cemetery and stuff like that. Not all cemeteries are the same unless they're really old cemeteries, and usually there's not many people who are there tending to them, if that makes sense. It depends on the cemetery, it depends on where you are. But I've been coming to that cemetery since I was a kid, so like I'm not afraid to go there by myself. And the area that I was in has only recently has been changing from being like a safer area to being a not so safe area, because it's kind of like turning into like a ghetto area nowadays, which is, it's really sad. But if you're my height, which is 4'11", or like for either, if you're a guy or a woman, you gotta stay alert when you're alone, because regardless if you're a man or a woman or whoever you identify as, you can still be in danger. So that's why I'm making this video, so you guys can stay alert. But usually women are targeted more than men are, but men do still go through stuff similar to this, so still be safe regardless. So I basically texted some people saying stay safe. That's what I was referring to for after what happened, but I didn't want to fully talk about what happened, except for me like venting on my Snapchat story. And then I only told like full like closer friends or family members about what happened. And then I didn't want to talk about it because it's still hard for me to literally talk about it now, because I could just feel myself just wanting to curl up and cry. I more feel like tense than versus crying. So after he asked that, he asked my name and age. I was an idiot. I told him both, but he thought I was 22, and then I thought that was a red flag, because afterward he said that I was too young, and I was like, I wasn't interested in you in the first place. You look 10 times older than me. What the hell? Excuse my language, but Jesus Christ. Like, I wasn't interested in him in the first place, but I should have thought that it was going south when he said that it's a weird place to meet people in the cemetery. I don't go and talk to people in the cemetery. And a lot of people come to visit their family members or friends that passed away at a cemetery. Why would you want to go up and talk to someone at a cemetery? You don't know what they're like. They could literally be a serial killer. You don't know. You don't know. Same one, like, it's hard to talk to people nowadays because you don't know people's like mental state. And you don't know, like, how they're going to react. Because some people can, like, talk to you rudely and end up being, like, actual nice people once you get to know them. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people. Because at the time, if I text or something, people misread that or misinterpret that I'm being mean when I'm actually not. It's just how I sound. And I apologize profusely because I don't mean to come out that way. So I apologize ahead of time. Like, I usually don't because even talking to me in person, sometimes I come off as rude because of my tone of voice, and I don't mean to. So, like, if people point it out, I will apologize, because most of the time, I won't realize it, because that's just how I talk on a day-to-day basis. So it sucks. And then I realized in the video I did pass by some graves who were newer people who passed away that were like older than me by a year, because people who are 22 are people who were born in 2000. I was born the year after, so it makes a lot of sense. And that's also one of the graves that I was standing next to when I was focusing on the grave that I said before. And then we had like a mini conversation. I don't really fully remember how it went. He left to go towards his car, and then he asked me when I was literally about to leave, because I fully felt uncomfortable at that point. He asked if I wanted to meet some woman friend that he had in the car, but it could have been, it doesn't matter because it sounded like a woman's name, but people identify differently nowadays, so you can't just assume, you know. So I was like, no, because I watched too many horror stories and listened to too many creepypastas and true crime stuff to know that to not do that in general. So it was literally, and plus I already had red flags through like the whole time this dude was talking to me, and I was like, no. I said no politely, and then I turned around, and when I was leaving, I literally walked on like two people, and I apologized for that before I fully left. And I made sure I didn't go by them when I was leaving, because that would have been really stupid. So I took the long route out to literally leave, but I did take a photo of where the babies were. Then there's also like a veteran section, which the veterans don't have normal headstones usually. Like their headstones are the ones that are like the plates on the ground. So I walked through them as well. So yeah, it was scary, but the jogger passed by me, so I started to relax at that point, and I didn't fully relax until I fully left the cemetery, and I kept checking to make sure that they were not following me. And plus, when they were driving around, because I recognized the car he was referring to as theirs, which was like a Honda something. I don't know if it was a Civic or not, because I could be wrong. A lot of people have a Honda Civic, but it was like an older one. It wasn't like a newer one. Or it could have been a Honda Accord. I don't know. It was a Honda, bottom line, and it was just like I had to make sure that they weren't following me. They were not, but it didn't look like that there was somebody in the car with him. So I also knew that it was stupid to go with it, because I knew that there was probably not another person in there. Also, if you're alone and someone asks you to come to their car with them, regardless if they're saying to meet my friend or any other excuse to get you to go to their car, don't do it. Don't do it. It's stupid, because they're probably gonna kidnap you or worse. And there's a lot of crazy people in that area nowadays, so like it's just hard to trust people nowadays. And I was mostly just upset that I can't do like things on my own or go to places on my own because of how like people can be nowadays. That's what I was basically crying about. And then also the situation didn't hit me until like I was walking back. I almost stayed at like the park that's right across from the cemetery that I grew up at, but then there was nobody there except for like two younger or people around my age, or they were like high school students. I have no idea. A lot of people look younger than their age nowadays. So, but they got into the car. I was recording this whole story for my Snapchat story when they were getting into the car. They heard my story, so they went to the cemetery right after, and these were like two dudes, two guys, or they could have been girls too. You never know, because everyone identifies differently nowadays, as I said before. So I basically stood at the park, but it was raining more, so it wasn't the best way to literally swing on the swings, and also my phone was dying, so I didn't want to be an idiot and be without a phone. So I walked all the way back to my grandmother's house, which wasn't that far away. It was like probably like a mile away technically, but I've walked it before, so it wasn't. I've walked back and forth multiple times through last year just to either visit or go to the park, to visit the cemetery or go to the park. And also my first ever school was basically down one of the roads too, but I was not ready to walk on Groton Street either because everybody speeds on Groton Street. So no, there's like so many like car accidents on that road. Jesus. Holy. So I basically walked back to my grandmother's house. I was bawling my eyes out and telling my mom and my grandmother, but I was also on the phone with my mom all the way back, so I was telling her the whole thing when I got back. And then after that, we basically all went out to Outback with my godmother, and I was actually wearing either my uncle's hat that he probably left here, or I was wearing my grandfather's hat the whole time just to be able to like have comfort technically. And it took me like so long to fully relax after that. So my advice on this is to be careful regardless if you're a man or a woman and what age or height you are. But usually people target the short people more or less. Like if you're tall, you're less of a target, but some people do still target you, so still be careful regardless. Especially if you're a woman, or if you identify as a woman, or girl, or anything. We usually get targeted the most usually, but a lot of people target a lot of people too, so still stay safe. Also practice self-defense, know how to defend yourself just in case, depending on who is trying to bait you and stuff like that. I haven't been tried to literally get kidnapped since I was a kid. What I mean is because a lot of people used to almost like kidnap me or my sister when we were younger. That's a story in and of itself, but like, because me and my sister were born with like blue eyes and blonde hair until our hair got darker when we grew up, and we just don't live in the best area either, so like I'm not surprised. So yeah, if you're a parent, watch your kids, and also be alert if you're a young adult, or no matter what age you are, stay alert when you go out alone, or try to stay with a buddy system and stuff like that, because anything can happen. I still feel so tense. I'm gonna need some water after this, or some coffee. I just had like hot coffee the first of the season because I need hot coffee since it's colder now, and I love hot coffee more than I do iced coffee. So yeah, it took a lot for me to share this, but I just wanted to share it for you guys to know to stay safe and stuff like that, and just be careful. I was lucky that nothing happened otherwise that day, and I'm still kind of like scared about it, but I'm not gonna stop trying to literally do things on my own just because of people who want to ruin it for other people, you know. And I've also seen people who make stuff about like Jeffrey Dahmer and stuff like that, and serial killers. Why romanticize about a serial killer? And if people who do that, you should know that they're not really mentally there, because that's gross. And there's still people who are mourning the losses that they had during the times of those serial killers that they're having documentaries about. And there's also still a lot of serial killers who are not caught. there's a lot of horrible things in the world, but the world is beautiful in some points, but it's also a very dark world that we live in nowadays. So yeah, be careful, and if you know people who are romanticizing about serial killers, don't be friends with them, because they really don't have the right mental state, obviously. Like, that's a big red flag. But yeah, stay safe, everyone. Remember to stay safe, stay classic, and stay strong, my warriors. And watch out for the loonies, for the loony bin people. Because you never know what mental state people are in. So just stay safe, and remember that a lot of people go through a lot too, and people act a certain way, and they do mean well, regardless. So, and you never know what people go through on a day-to-day. And a lot of people could be going through a lot of tough times, because that's just how everything is nowadays. Not everything's the same as it was, and there's a lot of things that are just going on that are horrible. And I just want you guys to stay safe and try to take care of your mental state, because life isn't easy, and there's a lot that goes on from the day-to-day for everybody. And try to keep each other safe, because we do need people to look out for each other, because that's what we need nowadays. And mental health is a big problem nowadays for a lot of reasons. And just remember to stay safe, everybody. Peace out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.